Hey you guys, it's Toya and thank you for watching Toya JTV. This is week 18, 8 of the How to Stretch Your Relaxer series. At this point, I am starting to feel like a fiend and I am really like ready to get a relaxer. Okay, here's my new growth. I just shampooed it. All of this wavy part up here. And all of this wavy part right here, and then you can kind of see some going to the back. That's all new growth. Okay, I did cut some last week just because I like my hair to have a blunt look. I don't like straggly ends, so I cut it a little bit, which is fine. You know, if that's your thing, do that. Everyone needs a trim, but if you don't like that blunt look, you can still get it trimmed without having that just blunt straight across look. You just need to let your stylist know that you don't like it blunt, but I like mine blunt. I like it to look, because I like to wear my hair bone straight a lot, so I like for it to look all even and just, you know, that's the look I like. Anyway, I shampooed it already and conditioned it. I used the Extreme Clean shampoo. I used that twice. I had a lot of buildup last week for some reason, so I used the Extreme Clean twice. Then I followed that up with the replenishing conditioner. I did not use the moisture shampoo this week just because when I was washing my hair, it was nowhere to be found. I did not feel like looking for it. I did not feel like going to get any more. So I just used what I had. After I rinsed the conditioner out, the replenishing conditioner, I then added the leave-in conditioner. Sprayed that all over. And if your hair is very tangled, you want to make sure that you also put the leave-in right where your tangles are. Okay, instead of just like randomly spraying, you want to spray it right on your tangles so that it can kind of penetrate that and help you to comb through it. Then after that, I just combed it straight down, and this is what you see here. All right, so this is week 18. And I'm just going, oh, and if you notice, I have my part on this side now. I normally do it on this side, but I'm going to show you all a little trick. After I flat iron, I'm going to show you all a little another way to get volume in your hair. So I'm doing this for a reason. So the only thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to let it air dry for a little while. I have something else to do around the house. So I'm going to let it air dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to blow dry it, and I'll come back when it's time to flat iron. And I'm probably just going to do it straight. From here on out, I'm probably just going to do it straight. I really don't have time for anything high maintenance. No curls, no nothing. Plus with the roots getting so thick, I just don't even feel like fighting with it. So probably from here on out, week 18 through 24, I'm going to just do it straight. So at this point, I'm practically counting down. So I have 6 more weeks. Okay, so 6, 19, I'll have 5 more weeks, 24 more weeks, 3, 2, 1, I'll be done. So, and there you have it. So it's looking like I will probably be getting my relaxer probably around the end of November. So I may, it depends on what week it falls on. I probably will get it right before Thanksgiving, whether that's week 24 or not, just so it can look fresh for Thanksgiving. And that's how we'll do that. Because at this point, I have my 2 inches. I mean, there's no mandate that I have to go 24 weeks or 6 months, but I'm going to get as close to that as I can. But it's just, so I mean, I could get it tomorrow if I wanted to, my relaxer, because I have enough new growth. But I just choose to go longer. So by the time Thanksgiving gets here, it'll be close, really close to that 24-week mark. But like I said, it's just, if it does not fall, if it falls like at week 23, I mean, what's 1 more week when I'm already at my goal as far as new growth goes? So you don't have to make yourself go the exact amount of time. You know, as long as you're in that range, it still counts. Like, nobody's gonna care if you know, let one of those weeks go. I mean, in 1 week you're not gonna get that much more new growth anyway. So, you know, don't torture yourself. If you feel ready, go ahead and do it. You know, but I can still manage this. It's getting on my nerves, but I do want to wait a few more weeks. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I will be right back when it is time to blow dry. Like I said, I'm going to let this air dry for a little while, and that way by the time I blow dry, right before I blow dry though, I am going to put some Silky Serum Oil on it, just because I did not use the moisture shampoo. So I'm going to put the maybe like a quarter sized amount of Silky Serum Oil and just rub it all through, blow dry, and then when I flat iron it, it'll already have a shine to it. If your hair is excessively dry and you use the Silky Serum Oil and it's still not enough shine for you, then at that point you can use the Miracle Potion number 9 just to add a little bit more shine. You don't want to add too much because you want your hair to still have a lot of body. Okay, so don't add more Silky Serum Oil. Instead, just do a few light sprays of the Miracle Potion number 9, and that will give you that added shine that you need. All right, so I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. I have finished blow drying my hair, and it's all completely dry now. And I did put the Silky Serum Oil in right before I blowed it dry. I then just combed it straight down. I actually parted it, but there's just so much new growth right now. You can't even see my part, but look, it's right there. See? It's just the new growth is taking over right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and flat iron. And it is so weird flat ironing my hair with the part on this side, just because I'm used to it being on the other side. But we are going to roll with it today. Alright, so I got my clip, and again I'm just doing straight, but I got my part on my right side, and normally I wear the part on the left, but there is a method to my madness. And so once again, it's just much easier for me to do straight right now. If you are still in your stretch with me, you'll notice that you're probably having to take thinner sections of hair. And that's just because when you know, the more new growth you get, you still want to be able to go through it with only one pass of your flat iron. So you may have to take a thinner section of hair so that that heat can pass through all of the new growth. When you get a fresh relaxer, or if your hair is thin, sometimes you don't have to take, you can take bigger sections. But, and then it'll still straighten out. I mean, it's taking smaller sections, yes, it does take longer, but that's just what you have to do. Because you don't want to keep going over that hair multiple passes on the same piece of hair. Because you want your hair to be completely damage free. That's free from any heat damage, free from any chemical damage, from relaxers or color. And you want your ends to be trimmed. And my hair, it feels so soft right now. Again, I use all of the Silk Hydration. I use all Silk Hydration products on my hair. I use the Extreme Clean shampoo. I use the Replenishing Conditioner. And I use the Leave-In Conditioner. And then I use this Silky Serum Oil. And that's it. But what it does, somebody had asked me a question, do the products straighten your hair like a relaxer? The answer is no, of course not. Ultimately, these products include shampoo and conditioner. So they're not going to alter your hair texture in any way. If you're relaxed, it's not going to make your hair straighter. If you're natural, it's not going to make your hair curlier. And then vice versa. If you're natural, it's not going to straighten your hair for you. What these products do is they moisturize and soften your hair to a point where if you're natural and you want to wear your hair straight, it will make the process so much easier because it softens your hair to a point to where it makes it easier for you to flat iron it. It's not any crunching and, going on. So it makes it really soft and really silky. Also, let's say you're natural and you have no desire to wear your hair straight. Well, you can still use the products because it's still going to give your hair a softer feel. It's going to make it really silky. It's going to make it more moisturized. And you want your curls to look moisturized and not look dry. And to be silky to the touch. You just don't want it straight. So you can still use the products. And then with them being made by me, of course, a professional hairstylist, I'm in hair, around hair, with hair all day, every day. So I know hair. So, who better to do a hair product line than a hairstylist that's in hair and around hair all day long? Like, for instance, if you had a Mercedes, if you had a Nissan or a Honda, you're going to take your car, when that car breaks down, who would you rather take your car to? Would you rather take your car to somebody that they just fix on all cars? Or would you want to take your car to a specialist, somebody that specializes in the brand that you bought? You're going to want to take your car to a specialist. Someone that knows that car in and out. And not just someone that just dibbles and dabbles in all kinds of cars. And that's how it is with Silk Hydration. I am a specialist. I specialize in healthy hair. So I know healthy hair. I'm not just a scientist or a chemist that just studied about hair or just read about hair. But, I'm not with it all the time. I don't have that hands-on type of experience. I'm just going by what research and data says. No, I'm not doing that. I'm actually got my hands in this hair. I use this on my clients. I use this on me. And I'm not knocking anybody that makes hair products, especially if they're good. However, if you get Silk Hydration, you have an extra advantage because, like I said, with me being a hairstylist, I am specializing in what you're buying. I'm not just making something to sell. I use it. I use it on me. I use it on my clients. I use it on my kids. If my husband had hair, he would use it. I give it to my family. So that's how I know that these products work, because I use them. I test them out on myself and my family before I even think about selling it, because I want to make sure it actually works and it does what I tell you it's going to do. Even if not one person bought this, I would still make it just to use it for myself. Okay, so now I'm moving on to the second panel. I flat iron my hair in panels just because when I go straight across, I tend to leave strands of hair out, and then I have to go back and I don't have that kind of time. When I do panels, it seems like I get every strand that I need to get. Also, when you flat iron your hair with your new growth, you want to, like I said, you want to make sure that your sections are thin enough. But yes, you want to make sure the sections are thin enough to where that heat is going all the way through that piece of hair. Otherwise, it'll look okay for like the first 10 minutes, and then as soon as you step out of the house, it's going to puff back up on you. And don't be afraid to take your time when you're doing your hair. Like, you would rather do it right the first time than be tempted to come back and put more heat on it. So I thought cutting it a little bit would help me with that back when I'm flat ironing, but I still feel like I'm just pulling that flat iron all the way past where I want to pull it to. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with my hair getting longer. I just wish, sometimes I wish I could clone myself and do my own hair. Like I could have me standing behind me doing this. It's just so awkward to be, you know, do it yourself and have your arms a certain way. So within 6 months, once you get to week 24, well, okay, we'll start with where we are. We're on week 18. So with week 18, that equals about a little over about 4.5 months. So 4.5 months, you should at least have 2.5 to 3 inches of new growth. That's how you can kind of keep track of if it's, you know, if you're on the average schedule. If you have less than that, then it just means your hair grows a little bit slower. If you have more than that, then that means your hair grows very fast. I think I'm right around the 3-inch mark, and that's just because my hair is used to stretching. It's used to not having a chemical every month and a half on it, so it does what it needs to do. It grows. And that's the whole point of stretching. You want your hair to not only to grow, but you want it to be healthy and thick from the root all the way to the tip. You see how my hair is thick from the root to the tip? It's not thin on the top and then, or thick on the top and then looking thin on the ends. You see how full my ends are? That comes from stretching. That's what you want. A lot of people that get relaxers every 6 weeks, they'll see that their hair looks really thin on the ends, and that's just because it's been over processed so much that this hair that's on the ends, it once was up here, but as you keep putting relaxer on it every other month, and not allowing it to really grow out, by the time that hair gets down here, it's had it, and then you wonder why you have to get it cut. But that's the reason why. Even you natural girls out there need to get your ends trimmed, because once those ends start splitting, you know, when your hair is curly, it blends in with the rest of that curly hair. But if you don't trim it right when it starts splitting, the only thing it's gonna do is continue splitting up the hair shaft. There's no product out there that is gonna repair your split ends. It may be a temporary fix to where it looks like that, but as soon as you shampoo your hair again, guess what? It's going to show its true self again. And then the longer you let it split up the shaft, the more you're going to have to get cut later. So don't be calling your hairstylist scissor happy when she tells you, or he or she tells you, how much needs to be trimmed. I recommend getting trims at least every 3 months, maybe even every 2 to 3 months. It just depends on your hair. If you protect your ends, for instance, if you wrap your hair or you put a satin cap on, satin bonnet, or maybe if you just sleep on a satin pillowcase, your ends don't have that friction of rubbing up against whatever you're laying on, like your couch, your cotton couch, or your bed with cotton sheets, or whatever you're laying up against. If your hair is not tied up, there's friction from, whenever you move your head, and that can cause your ends to split faster. Now, if your ends are protected, it may take them longer. They're gonna split, but it'll take them longer to do that, meaning you won't have to get your trims as often. Like, if you never tie your hair up at night, you just go to bed, you probably need to get your ends trimmed every 6 to 8 weeks. And if you do it right when it starts, keep a schedule, then that way you won't have to get, it will hardly look like you had any haircut. But I had one girl that came into my salon and she was natural. She hadn't had a trim in like 3 or 4 years. So can you imagine how much her split ends had come up? She had to get a lot cut, but I told her, I held up her hair, I straightened it out, and once you straighten your natural hair, you can clearly see exactly where it needs to be cut. But I held up her hair, I said, look, this much needs to be cut. She was like, okay, okay. She was like, first she was like, that much? I'm like, well, you have to realize that you hadn't had it in years. If you keep a regular schedule, it won't be like that. But for right now, yeah. So she said, okay. So after I did it, I had her turned around in the mirror and everything. So she was looking at exactly what I'm doing. So after I got done, she was like, oh, that looks so much better. Okay, so then she goes home and writes a review on me saying I chopped all of her hair off. And I was scissor happy and this, that, and the third. I could do nothing but chuckle. But anyway, so I'm almost done with this side. And then I will show you exactly what I'm going to do to get that extra volume in the front. And you can see it's already moving. See how much it's grown? And that's after I cut. One of these days I'm going to stop cutting. I'm just going to stick to just trimming. The difference between cutting and trimming is a trim is you just getting the dead ends off. That's it. A cut is you're cutting more than what needs to be cut off just for a trim. And like I said, I like that blunt look, so I always do a cut. And but one of these days I'm going to actually just do trims only. Well, you still can't even see my part. That tells you got some thick hair. If you cannot see a part in your head, forget it. I'm not even going to try to fight with it. Alright, I'm just going to get this piece that I didn't really get as close to my edges. And remember, you want to be gentle with these edges. You definitely only want to go through those with one pass. Because this hair around here, that's the most fragile part of your hair. So that's why a lot of times that hair, when it is damaged, the hair around the edges will break faster. I kind of like it going to this side, but I'm not going to wrap it that way. Okay, so if you want to get a little extra volume in your hair, this is what you do. You flat iron it comb it to the opposite side that you want it on, okay? So I really want my part on this side, but since I'm doing this little trick, I'm curling it with my part to this side. So then you simply take your fingers or comb or whatever you want to take, but I'm gonna take my fingers and you bring that hair back over here. All right. But that will give you that instant height. And I still have a few scraggly pieces from that hair I told y'all that was growing back from when I had my postpartum alopecia. It's at a length now to where it's just want to stick straight up. Alright, and there you go. So that way there are no rollers required or anything. And for my scraggly pieces, I'm just going to take a little bit of edge control. Just a little bit, because I don't want to weigh that hair down. I only want to tame the part that needs to be tamed. So you can't even see it on my hands, but I can feel it. Okay, and see that tames those little scraggly pieces. Makes them lay down without giving this that sticky, icky feeling. And there you have it, guys. And then, you know, if you want it extra deep, you can go even further. If you want it to be a little deeper, your part to be a little deeper, you know, you choose that. But see, with this method, there's no rollers required. And again, you see how straight my hair is. And this is week 18. Week 18. So don't let anybody tell you that they cannot stretch, that you cannot stretch your relaxer, because here I am 4.5 months in, and my hair still looks straight. Now, mind you, you all see how it looks when I wet it, okay? So we know that once it's wet, it's a completely different story. But, you know, once you put a little heat on it and tame it, and then all I'll do is wrap it. To keep it straight, I will just simply wrap it, and that's it. And I'm going to go throughout my week with it wrapped. And then I may even come back on week 19, next week, I may even come back and before I shampoo it at all, just to show you how straight it stays throughout the day. So I will do that. So before I shampoo it, I'm going to come on showing you that it's still this straight. And it actually, I mean, it still looks nice, but it's just, you know, residue gets on it throughout the week. So it doesn't have this feel to it. That's what I like, you know. If I wanted to roll my windows down, I could just be free with my hair blowing in the wind. And that's another good thing about the Silk Hydration products. They leave your hair very light. They're very lightweight products, so they do not weigh your hair down. Products that weigh your hair down, you'll be looking like this and your hair won't move. You'll try to shake your hair and it'll go wherever your head is going. It's not gonna flow by itself. It's gonna be like this. You know, it's not gonna move. All right. So make sure you guys go to silkhydration.com, get all of your hair products, your shampoo, your conditioner, your leave-in, all that good stuff. I'm telling you, you will notice a difference in these products. All right, this is all I use all the time That's all I use. All right. So I will see you all next week for the How to Stretch Your Relaxer series. Moving on, we will be at week 19 next week. So I'm excited about that. We only got 6 more weeks to go. So all of you that are still with me, let me know how you're doing. How's it going? How, are you ready to relax at this point? Are you still hanging in there? What's your status? All right, you guys, I will see you next week for How to Stretch Your Relaxer series. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Tell all of your friends to subscribe, especially you relaxed girls that feel like every 6 weeks you have to have a relaxer. You definitely need to subscribe to this channel because I'm going to help you out to get your relaxed hair healthy. See you all next week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.